it kind of boils down to a couple: Sivir, Zeri, maybe Jinx, Aphelios, and maybe I'm thinking Lucian. Oh, Kallista's the other one I was thinking of, right? Like, yeah, it's generally a small pool. These guys have played 12 champions apiece this split.
Yeah, and these are the ones lauded as our best of the best in that AD carry role. Except, you know, Bruncey's coming up behind them real fast, but he's still got some wins to get under his belt, and he is waiting with the rest of Loud in the next round of playoffs for whoever wins this final 5th match. Furia versus Red Kalunga to stay alive in the playoffs, to fight forward to find Loud, and then Pain in the grand finals. I haven't been lucky enough to see the rest of this series, but I feel I am blessed for this Game 5 to be here with you, RMC.
I am sure, Trajan, that this Game 5 will be everything this series has been so far. I'm expecting some tension. I'm expecting a lot of bloodshed. I'm expecting
some CBLOL moments, some Herald fights, perhaps.
Oh, was that a CBLOL moment right there? Oh, Redbird!
No, he spoils it. He doesn't quite get it to work. And we have actually got the Cull start for Titan on the Neela as well. Is this just kind of that unpunishable that you can take this weaker laning item and still be okay with it?
Partially, it's also partially the Seraphine Pike bot lane. Seraphine Pike, not necessarily a kill lane, exactly. Seraphine gets good poke down, don't get me wrong, but she also does have some mana issues, so it's difficult for her to get the full kill down. As compared to traditional marksmen here. So you can afford to go Cull, and as long as you're careful about it, don't get too greedy, you shouldn't theoretically be punished that hard, especially for Neela, who can shove waves quite easily.
We do see Grevthar shoving in the mid-wave as well. The Azir and the Swain, very high priority picks in the mid lane meta right now. Both huge team fight monsters if they get going. And Envy and Grevthar have both been particularly standout members of their roster. Love to see them going head-to-head in this last lane. And we've got the triple view as well. Production value through the roof.
Now, I do have one criticism of this view. It's really cool, but I really would like to see the minimap somewhere here, because I feel like at this point in the game, especially when they're showing this, is when we might get some cheese gangs coming in from junglers here. And I would like to know if the junglers are looking for any lane. Ooh, in the mid lane, we're getting a little bit more poke than the others here.
Yeah, it is a lot of heavy trading from Grevthar, setting up very aggressively. FNB has control of the top lane, as we would expect from a player of his caliber. With this Jax matchup, he has a sizable CS lead building up over Guigo, but Aegis is here on the bot lane. Might be looking for an early one.
So Aegis didn't actually invade at level 1, like we've seen every other game this series here. Instead, he's gone in later, but he is still invading. And I don't know if they can actually kill Redbird or Natsuno here. There is no heal. There's no defensive summoner. It's teleport and ignite. And if they step out any further here...
Oh, Goot's just on the vision right there. There goes the engage. The exhaust down onto Natsuno. No flag and drag, though, through the goalpost. And Furia will step away easily.
They're just trying to predict the flash there, but Furia just outplayed by doing nothing. And meanwhile, we get to see Goot also not really doing much. Just kind of getting vision, seeing if, hey, were the Raptors to steal away here. Grevthar, though, Spider Sense is tingling. Shading to the correct side. You know your jungler's there. You know it's safe. And he just walks down there instead.
Love to see the awareness from the mid laners from Red there. They're going to spot out this recall and cancel it. That is irritating, to say the least, for Titan. Takes a fat old chunk. Natuno going to get his free back off. He's got the TP as well if he needs the extra tempo. But right now, I think he's happy enough. Is he going to throw the Bone Skewer? Oh, doesn't quite hit it. That could have... Wait. Oh, did he disconnect? Why?
I don't know. There's no reason why you wouldn't just go back with your AD carry in that situation. Him out. The thing about it too is that, okay, even if it hooks Titan, so what? You can always hop off after Titan gets hooked, right? And then stay with Titan so that at least if they engage on you,
you're there to support him. Trouble, right? Like, why are you letting him go?
I have no... You're not even collecting experience from this wave. Anyways, the desync comes through. Jojo will come back a little bit later. It won't really change much. Titan's back in lane here. Doesn't miss anything. And Jojo looking for the roam. Ideally, I'd like to see Aegis go and pick up Jojo here. If you are going to let Jojo hop onto you, because you're going to be a lot faster than Yuumi. Just floating your slow way across the map.
Yeah, just having a little journey, a little tour around the jungle side, placing in some defensive vision. We do have the Hextech Drake to kick us off, and there's been a lot of more early dragon priority with the buffed up dragons on these latest patches. I mean, the CBLOL, we know that they're not often the biggest fans of the Drake, but with numbers that high, I think even they've got to turn their head.
I think we've had one soul this series, and it was a Hextech soul in the last game, where Red got 4 Hextech dragons to stack that up.
Oh, They must tell me they won. Please tell me they won that game.
Yeah, they did. I mean, at that point, I think it's almost better than an Elder Drake, honestly. To have that many Hex Techs
that is
under your belt.
36% attack speed, 36 ability haste on everyone. That's nuts.
Wait, I know Nymera calculated in chat earlier. I didn't see the numbers, but 36 sounds about right. Yeah, it's really broken, basically. It won't happen this game. We've got Hextech as our first Drake here. Now, I don't know when the teams are actually going to go look for it. Last game, it was about 8+ minutes because we saw the teams kind of trade for Herald. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen again this game.
Goot now making his way onto the bot side, and Titan slipstreams away, but can he dodge the Bone Skewer? Go to the Jubilant Veil, thumbs up, dodges it out. Sad B for Redbird. No angle for Goot. Meanwhile, on top side, the cross-map play. Guigo has got a fair amount of damage and has the Glacial Prison. Perfect setup, perfect execution. First blood for top.
Really well played from Red, and this is the scary part. One of the things we had talked about was the jungle matchup between Goot and Aegis. In the regular season, Goot had some of the best stats of all junglers. The highest, I believe it was second highest gold difference at 15 here. And Aegis, on the other hand, pretty much non-existent. We didn't see too much of him. But hold up, bot lane,
Titan. Some fancy feet on the pike, has to flash away. There was trading back so much damage, and Redbird has to leave, but the Airy flies in to seal the deal. Jojo gets the kill.
And Redbird was looking for that fight here, and Titan being able to be the one to come out alive, win that. And we saw this too with Yuumi. Most of the time, I hate it when supports get the kills, because what are they going to do with the gold? But Yumi's a little bit different here. She skills incredibly well, and with Neela, that extra healing gets spread to the entire team.
Why is it, do you think, that only Titan can make this champion work? Because he is so successful on it. I don't know if he's even good at it. I don't know enough about Neela to say if he's good at it, but he just doesn't lose on the champion. What's going on here?
Well, I think it kind of fits his style. To me, Neela is like Samira, except with a bit more healing for the rest of the team. And Samira is that really trigger-happy, like hard engage, I want to go in style champion here. So I think it does fit Titan's style pretty well. I love the fact, too, that Titan actually dashes in, and the flip out from Redbird kind of gave Titan the option to walk away. He didn't take it, but the option was there.
Yeah, of course, you know he's going to be letting him know over the mics in the studio, and I personally love the fact that he was emote spamming before he went in. Sure. And then takes the fight, and then just completely breaks Redbird's ankles and gets the kill for his own support. Very Titan moment in the bot lane. It's 2 kills now up for Red. They do have 1,000 gold lead for themselves here at the 8-minute mark, and they're setting themselves up well for this game 5. But Furia have coalesced around this Herald. We could have a bit of a blowout on our hands.
Yeah, all members of Furia have congregated up here, whereas Titan is still on the spot site, just getting the plates. I actually like this trade a lot. It's guaranteed gold onto Titan, who generally is the big carry for his team here. And Aegis just looking to see if he can maybe steal it away. I'm not expecting a full hard commit from Red. Ideally, I'd actually like to see him go for that dragon instead.
Yeah, he's in, he's out. He took a little look. Turns right around, gets out of there. Guigo is also keeping track of it, but will step away. The Herald's cleanly taken for Furia, but that's 3 plates in a row now for Titan, and he could look for a 4th before anyone gets back.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a lot of damage.
Is this Aphelios nonsense going on down here? How's he doing so much damage?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? The whip is kind of white. We'll call it white. His health bar is red. Red, white, don't fight. Like, I mean, he's doing damage, more than enough for sure, to get all those plates. And Gigo is actually doing quite a bit of damage up top as well. Aegis has snuck in there.
Oh, there's the combo into glacial pressure with Yuumi as well. The 3-man on top side. FMB down for the 2nd time.
That was massive overkill. They did not need to commit 3 ultimates, but they do manage to get that. Gigo will be able to punish, and FNB doesn't have teleport up, so FNB will miss the wave, and there's no way to really stop this plate from going down. Good, gonna run up here at least, so the XP won't be lost. Just transfer it. Good, XP. Yes.
Would you like some? No. Thinking? No. Doesn't want it. Doesn't care. Okay, well, the plate goes over to Guigo, and now Goot's here for a couple of them. I'm not sure what's going on, but this is the CBLOL. I rarely do, if I'm honest, RMC. So we are here now, 3-0 up for Red Kalunga, and they have been in very comfortable control of this early game. Tell me, in the Furia wins earlier on in this game, did they need to play off the back of an successful early game like so often before, or were they able to mount some comebacks?
They got a good pick in game 3, which kind of turned the tides for them. Oh.
Titan Apotheosis gets onto Redbird, and the Encore can do nothing with the exhaust. 2-2. Is he even going to bother with the flash? There it is, but the Formless Blade is too good. Double kill, 2 versus 2.
And topside, we're getting some action as well as Herald is being dropped here. Gigo has Aegis in his back pocket.
There's no ult, no ignite for Guigo there, and there's a flash for FNB, but looks like they're confident enough to look for it. Leaps in, goes FNB. Where's the counter-strike? He's holding it, Goot waiting for the chance to go in. Stun comes out. TP. That's the trigger to go, and a TP coming in as well, but Aegis stops the Cataclysm. Goot slides out of it. He's very low, but the second cycle knocks some flashes away from Guigo. Out comes the Permafrost, but Natuno with the shield, and FNB cleans up the red jungler. Grevthar is here, but he's behind the curve. Envy covering it off, and Guigo left on his lonesome.
Furia finally fired back, but in the bot lane, Titan took out the turret solo because once again, Natuno had to TP up to that top lane. Furia a little bit behind the play right now. And Trajan, I want to go back to the question you had asked me. Did Furia need a lead to win their games? No, they didn't need it, but they certainly don't look great from behind right now. And with this sort of gold lead that Rid is building up, I am very, very worried for Furia. The replay on this topside play, really good patience from FNB and Goot on this one here. FNB waited to pull them all the way up before kind of turning things. I don't actually think they expected to go as poorly as it did because Goot almost died here, and that's what forces the TP out from Natuno. Envy was already rotating up here, but if Natuno didn't go up there, Goot drops, and I think this fight turns very, very differently.
It is a tough play to be sure, but some gold that Furia will be happy to have in their pocket. And why is it, again, always Titan and Jojo, the heart and soul of this team? You can always turn to them when the chips are down. They have so much of the gold, of the power on the red comp right now. You can see they've already got the mythic done. They're halfway to the second item already at 12.5 minutes as that first dragon is finally turned to, and red will be in a benefactor.
Yep, it's an afterthought, but it finally does get taken here. And Tristan, throughout this series, it has largely felt like it's FNB versus Titan, the two big carries of their team. As much as we talked about Natuno as well, Natuno has not really shown up in this series anywhere near as close. And unfortunately, on the Seraphine, he's not going to be able to have the same level of impact that Titan is going to be able to find here. Oh, Kiko didn't even see it. He just threw that blind. Beautiful. But yeah, for Red, they're in a great spot right now. Their power spike really starts coming in the mid game. Look at the sheer AoE they have. Sejuani, the Jarvan, Swain, and Neela as well. All of that is just geared straight for team fights. And when Neela has the kill, she's going to be where the damage is coming out from. Already has the Kraken Slayer. So for Red here, they're good to go. Every and any objective, I expect to see Red there. Fury, on the other hand, they have good AoE with the Cyclone, with the Seraphine as well, with the Encore. But they're not going to be as strong. Instead, you're looking for picks with this Pike, and you're looking for the split push. Problem is, I don't think they have enough damage to finish off the picks that Pike makes. My goodness.
That's a tricky one.
that was I did not think that through. And FNB is not strong enough to split push either right now. So Furia kind of have to sit back a little bit, and they don't really have control for the next little while.
They may be looking for a dive onto Grevthar. Pops the ghost, demonic ascension very early, but Envy is there with the Sand Soldiers firing away, flashes in. Emperor's Divides will stampede over the Swain. Clean pickup on the bot side. Titan is there in a 1 versus 3 there. There's no Yuumi. He wants to go aggressive onto Goot anyway. Drops the Apotheosis at least, but it's a summoner down, or an ultimate down, I should say. Goot can easily W away. Meanwhile, Aegis and Yuumi caught out Redbird. This Pike has been picked so many times. The ults are dropped, but he just slides away in the vision.
I'm Jarvan and I'm helping. If you know the meme, you're old. FNB almost dropped topside. We'll get to that. But I want to talk about J4 because I said that I was worried about J4 more for Grevthar, but in this particular case, it hurt himself. If not for that, I think they get the kill here. The final chapter couldn't get the last couple of ticks off. That's so painful to watch. And we're just talking about, FNB being a potential win con for Furia. Well, if you can't win the 1v1 against Gigo, you can't split push at all here. And he was pushed all the way back. It wasn't like a handshake sort of thing where Gigo held the lane. No. FNB flat out lost that.
Yeah, Guigo does also have a tendency to step up. Funny how so many of these red players have a tendency to step up in the clutch moments. Maybe that's why there are 2-time champions looking for a 3rd straight title as they now head into that topside river. Grevthar, Titan, Yuumi, Jarvan, all the gangs here. Guigo as well to back them up. They would really like to get this next Herald.
Like I said, objective, Red's going to be there, and they're going to be there in force. Furia, the call is, don't even fight this. Just push out all your lanes best you can here. Unfortunately, I don't know how much they are going to be able to achieve. FNB is down all on his lonesome in the bot side here, but Gigo's already rotation. We saw top side Greftar answering Envy already, and in the mid lane,
Titan, chill.
like
they're just like, back off. There. Beat drop, you're rooted, stop. Go away, man.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even start. I was just watching that. I was thinking, oh, surely there's just a bit of poke. And Titan just kept hard committing. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to keep going?
Flash. Like, he's about to drop it if they don't stop him. He's just going to rip that one. We saw the gold on the screen. He is like 1,500 gold ahead of anyone else in this game. Very, very rich on the Neela. And they drop the Herald into mid lane to try and crack this mid turret as well. Goot and Envy on the top side have got control of that wave. But that mid lane turret, oh so important in unlocking that map state.
Yeah, and Furia able to at least keep pace right now, trading turret for turret. Unfortunately, I think mid lane turret a little bit more valuable, and it still doesn't really close the gold gap. Furia are still in it, but like we said, they don't really have control of the map, and they can sit back and farm a little bit. I think that's really what they're looking to do, get FNB to the point where he can actually start to carry this. Envy as well on the Azir can be a bit of a late game threat, but he does need his items. Interestingly enough, I don't think he's going for the Gnasher's Tooth. I would have liked to see that because I think Furia right now is heavily lacking in terms of safe sustained damage. Because FNB will bring a lot of sustained damage, but he's also going to be putting his body at risk to do it.
Yeah, TP in from Natuno into that mid lane gives Vision of Empire stack over to Greftar, 12 bonus HP, thank you very much. 3 versus 3 in the mid lane right now. The top laners have been rotated down to that bottom lane in a series that has so often come down to FNB versus Titan. I am looking towards Envy to be a bit of a difference maker, to tip the scales. He's 1-0 now, he's got a nice CS lead for himself, and the Azir can scale up like a monster. But here's another objective, and now you said RMC, here's Red, ready to fight for ages. He's so deep. He's so far in front of his team. Natuno does have to flash away. Titan slipstreams over to find it. Greftar covering the rear with Demonic Ascension. TP in from FNB. Can Red get out of this area? They found their one pick, but they need to get back onto this dragon. Final chapters there. Roots up Guigo. Pulled back in from Nevermove as well. And the Jax on the front line, putting his body at risk. Will not be allowed to keep it. But Envy with the shuffle pushes them back. The Sandstorm just dishing out the damage. Titan has to flee. Aegis, even with the Yuumi, going down to Goot, can barely escape, and the last bonk will knock him down to the grey screen. Yuumi left all on their own for the monkey to clean up. Furia, they lost their AD carry, they lost their Seraphine to start the fight off, but they still come out the winners.
Furia lost their top lane. I've lost my mind here. How did Furia win this Trajan? In what world do they take that? Red had a numbers advantage, and you were saying Red looking to get out. I was thinking Red doesn't know the meaning of that word. All they know is go in, and sure enough, they engage. But Envy, you said it best, Trajan. Envy has to step up. Envy stepped up. Huge for them. That Emperor's Divide was the big turner, pushing them into the wall, pinstring them, getting the damage down as well. And I'm so happy we get to watch a replay here. First of all, props and Aegis, finding the one person who can't actually get out. Seraphine had to burn the flash here. And right here, you've got a numbers advantage. Unfortunately, Greftar's Demonic Ascension timed out. And I think that's one of the big problems as well. He can't frontline as effectively here. So when they do finally decide to go in, that Emperor's Divide really makes it such there is no threat here. There's nothing ticking. There's no AoE kind of popping off. And from there, Furia just clean house, clean up. And with that, they put themselves on even footing. And now they can start looking for team fight, equal number team fights.
Yeah, and Goot had the Cyclone to go along with it, right? And he's actually full build already on the Wukong. He's got Divine Sunderer, so he's doing so much damage and healing that combination between the two just melted through Red Kalunga. And now the kills are back up to even. The gold, it must be said, still decidedly in Red's favor. Titan did not die, did not give over a shutdown. He is now 2.5 item deep with a stopwatch. Expect some more aggressive plays. He's hunting for FNB right now.
Yeah, I love the Titan. Just no chill, man. The guy just keeps on going here. And we were saying that, it's been a FNB Titan showdown. I don't mean literally like they've been facing off. Yeah. But in this case, literally, they are facing off. And Titan is currently winning that. Now, I do want to highlight some item purchases. We do see the Oblivion Orb being picked up by Natuno there. I love that. Because so often in CBLOL, we see Enchanters being picked up, healing Enchanters specifically. And the other team just doesn't build any healing reduction until by like 3-4 items into the game. The other one I'd like to see picked up is that Chempunk Chainsword for Goot here. I know that technically he's kind of full build with the Design Sunderer, but get the second item. It'll help a lot towards cutting down Titans and JoJo's effect in team fights.
Exactly, and the team fights are already definitely winnable for them if they can get that combo off. If Envy can step up, as we said, he has just completed his Shadow Flame, strongest member of that roster now with the 2 items done, and with Emperor's Divides like that, he could be enough to turn this game and win the whole dang series for Furia if he can keep it up. But for now, there's no objectives, so we're not going to fight.
Fair enough. And again, for Furia, they don't want to fight necessarily. Team fighting is still not their strength. Just because they can hold their ground now doesn't mean they're proactively going to go and look for it. Because sure, Envy can do damage, but you compare Envy to Greftar and Titan, there's just more coming on the side of Red. Instead, they're more than happy to kind of go into this holding state, let FNB look to, you know, potentially just push out side lanes, go for the split push here. Now, this matchup is actually not that great for FNB. He's going for armor more than magic resistance. Sure, he's got Merc Treads, but I think in the extended fight here, Greftar might actually still be able to outdamage him at this point.
Yeah, I think that Greftar, when he had that ult off, you're absolutely right. It's so impactful when Swain doesn't have that Demonic Ascension in that previous fight, but when he does, no one wants to be dealing with Greftar. If he can get the perfect setup on that ult, he's got both his summoners, he can be very mobile in these fights and control that front line. He does have the Merc Treads as well to give him even more tenacity to go where he pleases. So we just have right now, we've got Azir and Jax farming up the side waves. We've got the mid and top lanes on both sides, just in those side waves, and the mid and the bottom jungle bouncing back that mid lane back and forth to each other. Now, it is the Mountain Soul this game, so a bit of extra defensive capability, and for people like Swain, who love to survive a little bit extra, that is obviously very nice. But even for Goot and FNB, you mentioned FNB, he's got to put his body on the line to do damage. A little health shield wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah, and I'm always kind of split on Mountain Soul specifically, because Mountain Drakes themselves benefit tanks more. It's a percentage modifier, so the more tankiness you have, the better it is for you. But Mountain Soul, that's a shield, and granted, it is also a percent shield, but I feel like squishy champions benefit more from shields, because they really need to survive the upfront burst here. So I'm kind of split on which team would wear it better, but both teams, as you said, would really benefit from it, especially the lack of sustained damage we're seeing come through from the side of Furia. If Red actually have that shield, it's going to be super, super difficult for Furia, because they do rely on that burst damage from that Pyke, from that Seraphine. Then after that, it's all on Envy, all on FNB. And up to now, for Envy, I'm still not seeing a Nashor's Tooth. So the sustained damage still isn't that high. It isn't maximal on this Azir.
Yeah, it's all about that one big play to try and turn the fight. It was enough last time, but he's going to have to keep finding big plays to make the impact work out of this build. We can see as well that the Dragon's up in about 15 seconds, so we are going to be rotating over to that, I imagine. But quickly to touch on the Frozen Heart second buy for FNB as well. Very anti-Titan item, potentially Aegis as well. Do you think this is a solid second pickup, or do you maybe like to see something else?
He did it last time. Last time he did it, it was, I can't remember what he was running it into there, but I do remember there was a lot of physical damage. Yeah, I'm kind of scared for Aegis too. He does have Yuumi in his back pocket, and they're waiting for Greftar. I'm assuming that Red won't pull the trigger yet. Furia might though.
Yeah, they got the hook, but Guigo will Arctic Assault out of there, and the 5 members from each side have set up their frontiers in the river. These big team fights are where this series are going to be won and lost. Goot starts it up, but it's want to do too much damage. Redbird still fishing for the hooks. Goot now keeps it going as this ticks lower and lower. Frozen Prison doesn't hit anybody, and neither does Final Chapter. 2 big ults off the table for Red. Do they even want to take this now?
Nope, you just walk away at this point, because the game's too close right here, and that is very, very unfortunate for Red, because this should be one of their big power points in the game right now. They've got all their big AoEs. They with 2 of them. Is Red really going to do this? They're turning for Baron immediately, and Furia, I don't think Furia, okay, I was going to say, I don't think Furia thought they'd have the balls to quite do that, but the blue trinket comes down. They will get spotted out. They will back off, and Furia, second dragon here for them. They are the ones stacking, and we mentioned the strength of Mountain Soul. I will also add, it synergizes incredibly well with Ocean Drakes, which Furia has one of.
Yeah. I do like as well, to touch back on the builds, I like that we've got the Wit's End adaptation for Neela as well. I don't know how common it is, but going into Envy, this one person that you really need to not get shoved down, not get burst out by having the extra MR, could do wonders for them, plus the extra attack speed on these AoE sweeping autos across a team fight Titan. I do like this pickup for him, but he has now delayed. I don't know if Nyla actually wants to rush the Infinity Edge super fast, or if it even matters for this champion. I really just don't know how this champion works on many levels.
I'm kind of with you here. I don't know what the optimal build for Neela is. I've seen a lot of odd, strange builds come through, so I'm not sure either. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I've seen Immortal Shield Pull Rush onto her as well instead of Kraken Slayer. I think I actually seen that more than Kraken Slayer here. So I'm not super familiar. We'll have to kind of see where it goes. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see like Blade of the Ruin King come out at this point.
Yeah, I'm seeing Gumayushi go Gale Force more Collector, so who knows, man? It's a mystery.
Okay. Yeah, that is
No
definitely
idea.
an unusual build that I.
He also went Ghost
not seen.
Cleanse, so okay.
I actually think that's actually a good move. I think Ghost is underutilized a lot, especially on
Yeah.
AD carries like this. Like I think it's great on Samira and Neela. These sort of AD carries who want to reposition a lot and have dashes. We do see Gigo and FNB facing off, but not in the bot lane and not in a 1v1.
Oh, he's been stunned up now. They've got the Glacial 2 Bracelet Prison onto the Jaxball. Big Apotheosis on the front, and the Encore doesn't catch too many. Grevthar now backing up with the Demonic Ascension, stepping up untouched. FNB leaps back in, does find a kill, but they need to get Grevthar down. He is dropping low. Look at the Sand Soldiers chipping away at him, and Red have 4 members somehow scraped out of that fight.
Yo, is object permanence a thing here? Like it felt like the moment Envy managed to drop vision and Aegis left, they all forgot that Envy existed. Natuno's not on an 80 carry. Who cares about Natuno? If he survives, great, he's healing. But Envy's the one popping out damage. Titan, as always, no chill, pushing in, and a kind of 2-for-2 handshake here, Trajan, between these two teams. It shows how close their compositions are and why Red is so leery of just of hard committing everybody in an all-in.
Yeah, and we saw that when they did get, a good start with the 3-man Apotheosis from Titan, but then the choke points are so scary. The Encore, if it was maybe angled slightly differently, that could catch every member of them in that choke. It's very, very scary, as you say. They do not want to go too crazy and throw this one away. Not in Game 5, not in the loser's bracket. You do not have any more chances to play with.
Yeah, and it still strikes me as really weird that this is the losers bracket we're watching. This isn't even the semifinals. It's not the lower bracket finals that we're watching here.
Yeah.
This is the lower bracket semifinals. There's Loud still waiting for both of these teams. And like I said, I expected Game 5 to be a little bit of everything. I'm glad that they're playing respectfully. They're not throwing games away. Because when I said a little bit of everything, I meant everything good. I don't want to see CBLOL throws in this Game 5 here.
Really? Are you sure you haven't come to love them in a kind of Stockholm Syndrome style scenario?
This is why I cast other
You are a
regions
Pain Gaming
occasionally.
fan, may I remind you?
Hey, Pain's fine. Pain's fine. I don't have enough copium today, Trajan, so we're going to leave Pain out.
Yeah.
I don't have enough copium.
You don't even have to copium, because they're the ones in Grand Finals, right? They're chilling up there. They have already knocked out Furia in a 3-1. They did it quicker than Red have done it so far, but we do know about Red's relationship with Pain in Grand Finals. It's a bit of a rough one.
Yeah, and you know what? Pain have their own troubles to overcome. For now, Red have to get to that date first, and they've got to beat Fury, they've got to beat Loud, and even right now here, Red's gold lead has not grown in the last 10 minutes whatsoever. If anything, it might even have shrunk a little bit against Furia here. So that is a little concerning. I don't know if I favor their skilling. Neela is strong, and she does skill up massively, but so does Azir right now, and the Jax is my big concern. Jax is kind of going that full tank build, with that Glacial Shroud into the Force of Nature coming through. But yeah, it's going to be a problem for Gigo to try and deal with the split push TPs. Both top laners.
The hook onto Aegis, they flag and drag away, but it looks like they want to call the fight anyway. FNB won't find anyone with the counter strike, and the rest of Furia are waiting for a potential go button. There is still the Sejuani ultimate. Guigo has been pulling the trigger so many times in these fights. You know that Titan is chomping at the bit to get stuck in. There's a dragon live, there's an objective on the field. Why not have a fight anyway?
Yep, they're certainly scrapping the entire way down to get control of this. Red, however, is in the river, and that is important because it's difficult now for Furia to fully leverage their team unless they want to burn all their gap closers to get over the wall. The ward in the back of the pit, not spotted by Red here, and it will give vision. Oh, now it's spotted, and now it's blocked out, and now Red have actual control over Dragon.
Envy has taken a little bit of poke from the prowling projectiles, but Titan's still on the flank looking for a way in. Guigo does find the stun onto Red, but he won't find the kill just out. Aegis on the flank, but he's got no angle. In goes the Cataclysm. Envy chops him down. Grevthar goes to Demonic, but look at the knockups. Red are getting mashed by Furia in the choke point. One by one, they fall down to the Furia super team, and the Dragon is bare.
Once again, I'm Jarvan, and I'm helping. Grevthar could not get stuck in there. And Grevthar right now is doing a lot of damage if you can actually get him into the fight. Furia played that so masterfully, and I love this right here. They leave FNB to pick up the dragon, and they instantly rotate to the Baron here. They are looking to maximize. They're looking to get the gold lead, and they are looking to get the turrets down.
They do not want to let this slip away from them. Not at this stage. They're going to go to Soul Point for the Mountain Soul. They've got the Baron now, and they were already starting to take control of these pushes. We'll see the replay again. Guigo is pulling the trigger.
Yeah, and I thought for a second this was going to go really well for them. Aegis manages to pick up Envy in the back of that madness, but look at Grevdar's positioning. He can't even walk up here. And unfortunately for Titan, you need somebody to help you pump out that damage. You need somebody to help you get kills. Sure, you've got diving buddies with you, but you go, Aegis, they don't have enough damage. They went tank build here. So sadly for them, Titan goes down. The fight's kind of lost or won, depending on which side you're looking at that point in the game. And now for Red, doubts in their minds. Hey, do we actually still win team fights? And if we don't, what do we do? Our composition only team fights. We don't even have a split push option. We don't have a pick option. It's boom or bust.
It certainly is. It's getting, the margins are getting finer and finer. Aegis goes aggressive once again, but the Zir tower is still there. Grefdar pops the ultimate. Titan safe on the backline for now. FNB dives forward, but look at the encore. Catches so many members. It's another huge win for Furia. This is so strong for them. They've already got the Baron. Think of what they can take off the back of this. Grefdar, the last left alive. Jojo on his own. A triple for Goot. All members down for Red.
Well, I was getting flashbacks to game 3 for a moment where Titan missed position once, got punished, and Furia ended the game. They have Baron. They're pushing it. They're doing this faster than I thought they would. They don't have an actual AD carry, but they do have a Jax. They are just womping their way. No way. Is this actually going to be a replay of game 3? Are they actually going to end? Surely not.
They've got Jax, they've got Azir, they've got the Baron, they're pushing down. There's 10 seconds still left on Aegis. This game is done. And why so quiet, Titan? Furia face down the legends of the losers bracket Reds, and they come out smiling. They just knocked out the champions.